419 with Gretchen DeBacker, Matt Killam, and Kevin Mullen.
Welcome back to another episode of the 419. This is Matt Killam.
I'm Gretchen DeBacker.
And I'm Mary Brucker.
Kevin, you look terrific.
I love what you've done with your hair.
Yeah, we do want to send out a couple messages. As most of you know, these are taped, so it is the Monday just after the Old West End Festival. A overwhelming tragedy has found, and I guess national headlines have found our town here. To all of those involved from a first responder standpoint, the police, the fire department, and all the people who live in the Old West End and all the people adjacent. Certainly heavy hearts here. Again, we realize that this is an awkward transition into a show that's about celebration, but we think there's a lot to celebrate. The Toledo is a resilient town, and we'll find our way, again, as we do together. So, again, awkwardly transition into this silly show. You can probably tell based on your dial that there is not a professional at the helm today. It is me, Matt Killam. Kevin is on a well-deserved vacation with his family, who is probably already wondering why they made these life decisions.
As are we every morning.
But we have pulled a name out of a hat, and we only filled the hat with one name. And Mary was available.
Mary Brucker.
Yeah.
So our audience should know, if they weren't an early adopter of our podcast, that you were our very first guest on our podcast.
Yes.
You were here the very first episode of this show a mere 6 months ago, almost 6 months ago. Which is really, isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
So we thought it only appropriate to have you as one of our guest hosts this week. So thank you for coming in.
I'm the only one of your friends who'll wake up early,
That's
right?
Yep. I don't want to say that.
Mary, for audience who may or may not know you, first of all, congratulations to their life decisions. But who in God's name are you?
Oh, gosh. What, they haven't listened to the first and second episode to find
Sure they have. Yeah.
Just a friend of the show, certainly a fan, and I own my own company, Matt, Imagine 901. I've been doing that for about 8 years. And I think the best way to describe it is I provide experiences, great experiences, and want to elevate events and culture and friendships.
The arts.
The arts.
Yes.
Yes, I have my own theater company. And just a lover of this city, I can tell you that.
Sure. You are a born East Sider.
Born East Sider, 05, all the way.
You said that you're in theater. If you had to pick one theatrical performance that embodied the East Side, what would it be? Just a reminder, Oklahoma's not East.
It is not Les Mis.
Yeah. A lot of carts need to be picked up by burly men.
No, it'd be something spectacular. Lion King.
Yes,
How about
I like that.
Sure,
Yes,
because of all the feral cats.
No, because of the pride.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do
That's
too.
Good.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a good
because
connection. Because the lions are in pride.
You get it,
So
yeah.
the collective noun.
Yeah.
I love it.
So would you ever want to be a permanent co-host of the show? Because any of one of us could quit at any point.
Well, let's see how today goes.
Okay. All right.
We've got just a few seconds left.
Yep.
Again, we've got a great show, as we always do. It is a Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, with our partners at Workspring. Dr. Helen Mabry as well. And we're closing out with a longtime guest of the show, Ms. Clark, who we consistently call Larke. We'll be back to you shortly.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at witroadvisors.com.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.
Welcome back. We have almost our first five-timer, Elissa Larke, here. You've changed your name from Clark for the fifth time. Elissa, you've become I would just say a novice food critic for us as well. The first time you were on the show, we talked about your hobby of cooking. So I always like to put you on the spot. It's been weeks since we've seen you. What have you cooked that wasn't a total disaster or poison to your loved ones?
Well, recently I've been into, like for the summertime, making like pasta salads.
Okay.
So I did one recently that was like orzo and chicken and lots of good veggies and stuff in there. And
Yeah.
I had, if you've ever had that Ken's Greek salad dressing,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
that is the best dressing.
We're not allowed to
and-
mention Ken's out loud based on the litigation that's because we're sponsored by Jeff's Greek salad dressing.
It's very
and
similar.
They hate each other.
Yeah.
Both are wonderful. Both are wonderful. You
That's
can
right.
definitely sub
Yeah.
in the Jeffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two Greek guys, two eyebrows. You know how it goes. Well, you are a wellness expert, so that is a nod to wellness, both in dietary components, but having a hobby, of course, is real value. But today we have kind of an interesting, at least for me, how inclusion has a place in the workforce. Everyone has become familiar with the concept of inclusion. I am going to ask you to sort of define that for us so we can be educated on this show. Mary is from the East Side, so just talk as slowly as you can. But tee us off here. We've got, this is interesting subject matter to me.
Yeah. So talking about inclusion within the workplace and specifically within like wellness programming. So really that's all about making, your programming and the things that you're offering for your employees as equitable as possible, making sure that things are relevant for everyone in your workforce, and offering that space where everyone can feel like they belong to something and there's something for everyone.
This is a concept that feels relatively new, which is an embarrassing thing to say out loud, I guess, from a cultural perspective. This is something that should have been sort of ingrained in us on a DNA level forever. But can you talk to me a little about, is this a new concept that has hit the workplace? Are we getting hip to this, or has it always been there and now it's come to the forefront based on sort of more of an awakening, culturally speaking?
Yeah, I would say, not necessarily brand new, but, it's something that to a lot of people, it's, somewhat common sense, as
Sure.
much as you can include people, the better. But, we're, of course, always seeing new things that can be done to make that inclusion even better in the workplace.
Now, Gretchen,
so.
you've always had a unique perspective on common sense. You're not for it.
No, I'm
Can you talk a little
anti.
bit about the platform that you stand on in terms of what's the tagline again? I've forgotten.
No sense.
No sense it is. I'll tell you, and not spelled correctly either, which I think is a brave and bold
Not.
move.
Yeah, you just take the N out of nonsense. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, ironically, I started a corporate wellness program back.
You did?
Yeah. It was just mead and dinosaur meat.
It was a world-class corporate wellness company
that's awesome.
at a Fortune 500 company 10 years ago.
Come on.
Welltower. Yeah. So
Amazing.
So I love that you're doing that work. It's not easy work to get people in the workplace to focus on their wellness. So what is one of the things that now you go in and teach the companies how to start a wellness program?
Yeah, so within our wellness department at Workspring, we offer support services to help people with building that wellness programming kind of from the bottom up, and then just, kind of consulting on what things might work the best for their population.
It's interesting to me that you mentioned something, actually all three of you did, that this should be common sense. There's got to be a challenge to teaching things that people consider common sense but are not truly living. So what is the baseline when you walk in sort of day one, giving an inclusion seminar or starting an inclusion conversation? How do you know that you're starting at truly square one?
Well, sometimes if people haven't had those opportunities before,
That makes sense to me.
and kind of identifying, who hasn't been participating or engaging, and kind of getting to that why of, what are things that could bring people into engaging with their wellness and
But that's kind of
with
the
your
difference
programming.
between, at least in my mind, between equality and equity, right? So equality is you offer something that's available for everybody. But for it truly to be equitable, you have to reach into the groups or the populations or the subsets of your workforce population to find out why someone may not be participating. What are the cultural, language, educational, whatever barriers that are stopping it, and solve for that. So I'm assuming that that's something that is being addressed in the workforce as well.
Yeah,
So there's
absolutely.
reasons that people, other than just maybe being afraid of doctors, there's reasons that people are not participating potentially.
Yeah, so doing what you can to address those. Oftentimes, there might be different ability levels that you're not aware of, or different scheduling things that people have going on. So doing your best to kind of accommodate those things for everybody. And then, not only are you then including the people who have those barriers, but you're making it easier for everybody to participate and engage.
Elissa, you have 700 clients, Workspring does, across the region and state. What are the challenges of introducing programs like this to a large company as opposed to a small company, because you run the gamut of services, right? There has to be challenges to both, right? Can you talk a little bit about the ease of some and challenges of some and vice versa?
Yeah, it kind of depends. And it depends on, what kind of company are you? What are your resources and
Certainly.
things? So, oftentimes a bigger company, they may have more at their disposal to implement things. And then a smaller company, you might have to get a little bit more creative with what you're doing. But there's, pros and cons to each. When you have a smaller group of people, it's kind of easier to tell what people's needs are and things versus a larger population. You kind of have to, figure some more things out there, and maybe survey employees is a really great way.
Speaking of sort of moving forward by eliminating, how much better is the show without Kevin, your work?
You find it just to be generally more enjoyable?
How much easier is it looking this way?
What?
How much easier is it just looking in this direction without that gargoyle holding over all these microphones? It is a interesting push and pull, right, in all manners of therapy or being a doctor or physician. You had to have been put in this position before. The goals that are set by the company are set, I assume, in tandem with the heads of state and Workspring. What does the goal setting look like? Meaning, if you're introducing a wellness campaign, who decides what success looks like?
I think that's really up to, what the goals are of your company, but hopefully part of your goals is to make sure that you're fostering, like I said, that sense of belonging for all of your employees, so that everyone feels like they are heard, they're a priority, and like their wellness truly matters to their organization.
And it's easier to become wellness focused when you're doing it as a group, right? So the culture changes and
yeah, people work together better and have a better sense of your workplace culture when they're all able to engage together.
Any wins in this space in particular? I mean, is there an aha moment? I know that we talk about this almost indiscriminate of the specificity of what you've come on for, but in terms of inclusion, wellness is important, people feeling better about themselves, right? And certainly the upside is making the widgets better. But in terms of inclusion, this is an important concept. Do you have an aha moment or something in particular? I'm sure several, but if you had to pick one, you're like, this is great, this is working, or even the fact that the company that you worked with identifying this as a need has to be somewhat rewarding.
Yeah, I'd say recently, actually, I've had a group that they wanted to do sort of like a summer movement challenge.
Okay.
And something we incorporated was really making sure that the way that was laid out for folks, that everybody could participate in their own way. So instead of it being just a steps challenge or just a workout challenge, we tried to call it movement and make sure that people knew they could move however works best for them. And then also making it really flexible in terms of timing. So, if people only have a few minutes a couple times throughout the day, they could accumulate their movement throughout the day, and that would count towards their participation.
Sarah, do you have a win from the program you did at Welltower?
I do. I was awarded one of the top prizes in the the National Heart Association, and we decreased our insurance claims. So I know that there's for the companies, it's
financial state.
They're a financial state, but then
That doesn't cheapen the win.
it does not cheapen the win. But I think, to your point, the engagement part and the inclusion part always is the biggest win, because you really start seeing people hanging out together that and walking together that maybe have never spoke together.
Yeah,
so when you increase those programs, really the culture of the organization, both physically, mentally, and emotionally changed. So it's a great.
Elissa, I keep my wellness schedule set to the Olympic cycle. Every 4 years, I think about this. Is that good?
And it's only downhill skiing, right?
Yeah, downhill something. But if you had a magic wand, right, and you had to build a wellness campaign, and you could only start with one thing, out of curiosity, what is square one? What is the first thing that people need to sort of be aware of or start to make it for a healthy, functional company?
Well, I think
More Ken salad dressing, your words. This segment is brought to you by Ken's Greek salad dressing.
I mean, I think the first step I would start with, like I mentioned, is surveying your folks and
Sure.
seeing what people are looking for, and trying to identify those needs and identify what some barriers might be for folks. And then taking a look at, what you're already doing, what's working,
Yeah.
what people, aren't as engaged with, and how you can adjust from there.
This is fascinating conceptually to me because knowing where the barriers start is a challenge. So even as you've articulated starting polling to get data, everyone knows that is sort of ground zero or should be. But as someone who's dyslexic, I could have a potential barrier. Now, I'm not necessarily severely dyslexic. I can read, but it's a challenge. But people not knowing how to use modern AV, right, or don't have access to scheduling. I know Gretchen, you've and Mary both have served our region in many ways, and you do a lot of polling because you want to work on behalf of the people. But not everyone has internet access, right? People have vision concerns, right, or challenges. So the beginning or starting or understanding of what real access is, we are starting to find out more and more that the goalpost is moving back or should be. So I congratulate you on that. It is not an easy gig. It is the right gig, but it doesn't make the work without courage. I am curious, as we always ask here, has this made you walk through life differently on a personal note? Do you walk into Panera, which has now become completely run by robots, as one of the most unpleasant experiences I've ever had? We're not sponsored by Panera.
No, we're not.
It won't be.
We're not going to be. But I mean, those.
They serve Jeff's.
They're a pro Jeff company. Let me tell you that Jeff, he's that kind of animal. I don't mind saying it.
I don't either.
Well, you're very brave. Yeah. Elissa, you've changed your name from Clark to Larke, so you're clearly on the run.
Yeah.
But I am curious, has this opened your eyes a bit as you walk through life, talking to your folks or family at Thanksgiving? You're like,
Oh yeah, I feel like once you start, kind of going down the rabbit hole, you start
Sure.
to notice all the different things that could be better.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of like the concept of like universal design, how that can, in accessibility, it makes things better for everyone.
Sure.
So when you open those things up and make it easier for people who are differently abled, you make it easier for everyone.
Sure.
So, yeah.
How do you keep up on the important, language is important. Words are important. And as we evolve, theoretically, we're evolving the vernacular for which we frame all the things we talked about today. How frequently is Workspring mining that part of the data? I mean, we are finding out how to describe things in a new way. We're talking about ways to make sure people that want to identify in a way and they should be honored and identified in that fashion.
Well, that's just your woke culture.
That's right. Right. Yeah. That's what the Ken salad dressing is about. No, but seriously, it can be a little bit challenging for some. It can be an eye roll for others, but it is important. How do you stay on top of this? Is there a source that Workspring relies on, or several, in terms of finding accurate information and proper definitions in language of things?
I don't know an exact source that we go through, but I would say, like you said, it is, kind of always evolving, and it's not about getting those things perfect all the time, just about, sort of doing your best and doing your due diligence to try to stay up on these things and be as inclusive and helpful to everyone that you can. So I can't think of an exact source that we necessarily use.
That's okay.
But just kind of always trying to look at it.
I'll tell you another challenge.
Openness to it.
Yeah.
Mary and Elissa, questions for both of you because Gretchen will be unfamiliar with this. Successes. It is important to celebrate.
Can you define that?
Nor can I. Celebrating successes is important, right? Mary and of course Elissa, we talked about the fact that there is financial gain for a lot of these programs. That necessarily isn't the driver, but if it is, then who cares as long as we get to the positive. But when we think about the fact that we are a culture based on immediacy, and the bottom line is certainly something to celebrate, but people are uncomfortable celebrating things that should be the obvious, right? Like inclusion. You don't celebrate the fact that we're treating each other better. That could seem trite or contrived or overdone, but it is important to celebrate these successes. What should that look like, or what has it looked like in both of your experiences?
Well, for me, I can tell you, I just watched on social media one of the ladies.
A great resource for kindness.
One of the ladies who we did a Couch to 5K at Welltower 10 years ago, and a woman started and couldn't even walk.
I get it.
You know, and she was determined to do this. And I remember watching a year later her first 5K. And we all stood around and were bawling.
I bet.
And she's still running 5Ks today.
She hasn't finished?
No, she. Not the same 5K. but that to me is success, and I love just even those personal nuggets. It doesn't have to be huge.
Elissa, in classic guest host fashion, Mary is filibustering the last moments of her segment. We love you. When you come back for your fifth segment, you get your jacket. Gretchen has been making them in her basement. All right, next we'll have Dr. Helen Mabry on, and we're thrilled to have her and excited to talk about important subjects.
To me, community means connecting to others.
I'm Donnie Miller, and welcome to The Point.
I love PBS Kids!
We're a community committed to education. Discover new ideas, dive into exciting subjects, and engage with the world around you.
I would send them personally a t-shirt. Crime doesn't pay in the Old West End. Pass it on. That's how we cleaned up the neighborhood.
Vision loss for people is not the end.
It's a story. It's the next chapter.
WGTE Public Media invites you to Get Out and Play Day.
The 419 at 7 a.m. on YouTube, 3 p.m. on FM 91, and 6 p.m. on WGTE Connects. It's the 419 powered by WGTE.
WGTE, where you come to watch, listen, and learn.
Welcome back to the 419. We had a great start to this show. We are without Kevin, which is the great start that I was talking about. But we have a doctor on, Dr. Helen. You are by far the most sophisticated person we've had on the show.
By far.
That's not a high bar. Now, all teasing aside, we're thrilled to have you on. Thank you for making the time for us. And you've got some news and some things to talk about. Before we get to that, we talk a little bit about you and how you got here and what we're here to brag about.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It's
Sure.
great to be here. I'm from Toledo,
Okay.
and so Toledo is home to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very happy to be back here. I grew up here,
Where'd you grow up?
right in this neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay?
We can't identify where we're located because of all the paparazzi and fans. So just leave it at that.
South Toledo, we'll just
Let's just say I've lived in several locations off the Anthony Wayne Trail.
Okay.
When I drive on the trail,
Yeah.
I see all these places where I've lived,
Right.
and places where
Yeah.
I've ridden my bike as a child.
Sure.
And, you know, riding here, riding there, and
Doctor, if you had to rank your driving on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at on that?
my driving
Yes, ma'am.
is a 9.5.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I compare myself to my husband.
Okay.
And I love to always do a comparison.
And we'd like
of
to hear
them.
it if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Can
And
we
what's
start-
he at?
Well, he's not that high.
He's not that high.
Two came to mind.
Yeah.
But you know, for him, it's a race.
Yeah.
It's a competition.
Sure.
Being the only one on the road, no one in front of you.
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
And
I think that's how bumper cars is participating. Full candor, I apologize. We always run into a challenge here when we like the people right away, and we're unfamiliar with having somebody who is smart. So please help us out here. You are a Toledoan. You have decided to make this your home. That's kind of what the show is about. So we're proud to have that statement said out loud. But you've moved around a bit. You went to school and came back, or has it been a straight shot?
Yes, I went to school and came back.
Okay.
I went to Ohio State for medical school.
Okay.
I did my residency in Florida. I did my fellowship in California. So I've done Florida and California.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have any other dreams.
That's right.
Now it's Toledo.
You've done both. Disney, you've been both Disney experiences.
Exactly. Yeah. And now I say I've done those. Now I can live in Toledo and be happy living here.
And you're a surgical oncologist for the Mercy Health System.
Yes.
What, just for me, I'm going to pretend it's for our audience, but what's the difference between surgical oncologist, just an oncologist? Are all oncologists surgical? What's the mix?
I specialize in surgery of the breast.
Okay.
Okay, so breast cancer, that's my thing.
Okay.
And, there are medical oncologists who give people chemotherapy and treat the whole body and do scans, whereas I do operations on the breast, lymph node area under the armpit, and the chest region.
Doctor, I'm always curious whether the specificities find the people or the people find them. How did you find this track? These are my words. This is a bit of a calling, I would imagine, or at least something that you believe in. You've dedicated your career to it. You look like a very young person, so it's really not over. I just read what you wrote here to say. But in all sincerity, this is an important thing. Of all the guests at this table, it could affect all of us, despite common knowledge.
Yes.
But why did you find this, or why did it find you?
Well, I was a medical student, and I didn't truly expect to go into surgery, but when I saw it, I just fell in love with it.
Certainly.
And I thought I could do it better than that person.
Sure, like the driving.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
We're ready to see a pattern emerge.
Yeah. What an ego. I'm surprised we're able to fit your head in the building. Dr. Lynn.
Well, these were people in training, okay? They were people in training.
Yeah.
But was there an aha moment? Guys, let's focus here. This is a real show. There's a doctor in the house, Mary. Yeah, she's unfamiliar. She's from the east side. But was there an aha moment here that you're like, this is me, this is the path?
Yes. I thought, if I had breast cancer, how would I want it to be treated? And that's my focus. I try to do every operation as if, this were me as the patient. How would I want this done? And so, as a woman, I think it's easier to relate to, other women. We could all be facing breast cancer at any time in our lives. It comes out of nowhere. You don't have to have a family history.
That's right.
And you never know when it could strike. And we do see it come in at a younger age, and with people who are under 40 who have no recommendation for a screening mammogram or screening of any kind. They are facing it alone, and they don't really know what to look for, and they don't really know, when is something that needs attention.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the current changes? It seems like it changes so much.
Yes.
I mean, I'm old, so I'm in the screening range no matter what. But what is the current information on breast cancer screenings for women?
The current information is to start screening at age 40.
Okay.
That's my recommendation.
Yearly?
Yes,
Okay.
I would recommend yearly.
Mammography screening?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But more important than a mammogram will find things before it can be felt. But it's so important to be aware that changes can happen to the breast that may be missed on mammogram, that you could see with your own eyes, a change in the contour of the breast, a change in the shape or the way that the nipples are pointing. As we look in the mirror and raise our arms, if there is evenness, that's what we want to see. But if one side starts to dent in, or it takes on a thickening, or a different texture, or changes in the skin, These are things that require immediate attention.
So
And what's
it's-
the,
sorry.
I'm sorry, Matt,
No,
what's
please.
the, what are the percentages, again, just to get sort of in the technical aspect of this just for a moment, but what are the percentages of people that are having to get surgery, that elect or should, based on recommendation, have lumpectomies or have parts of their breast removed, the breast tissue removed?
Well, I would say in general, we can see about 1 in 8 women face breast cancer in her lifetime.
That's incredible.
I know, it's so
I
common.
mean, I didn't know what that number was,
Yes.
but that's
And then it's over 2,000 men per year in this country facing breast cancer. And, you know, often they don't even know what to look for or have it on their awareness.
Right.
And it's over 300,000 women in this country facing breast cancer every year. So most of them will require some type of an operation, especially if it's found early. You know, if tragically it's found too late, sometimes there's not much that can be done
Certainly.
surgically. But usually we can improve every situation.
And do you recommend, or is it part of your practice to recommend, again, I don't know what like the current information is, but for people to get tested for the gene?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. If a person is diagnosed with breast cancer at a young age, or if there is a family history of breast cancer, or if there's just very few female relatives, you know, that person.
Oh, is that a higher?
Well, if you have very few female relatives, you might not know
That's a great
if
point.
other
I didn't
people
think of
in your
that.
family would have been
Yeah,
affected by
that's
breast
interesting.
cancer.
That is an interesting comment to
And
make.
sometimes what we'll see is a gene come through the father's side, and he doesn't always stay in touch with all the female relatives on his side.
Guys, if this is going to be a male bashing show,
Which obviously he's not. Right.
Yeah. So you're saying they're finding it in younger girls now.
Yes,
And like, how do you detect that if you're not getting mammograms until you're 40?
that's it. Each young lady has to face it on her own.
Right.
I would say noticing changes in your breasts is the
And
thing.
you know, we were taught self-exam.
Yes.
But, you know, it's still as a young girl, that's awkward.
Self-exam is a challenge because there have been randomized controlled studies on self-exam where they took people who were unfamiliar with it. They had to go to Russia and China, and they taught people how to do self-exam, and they had 2 comparison groups. And in both of these studies, they found that self-exam did not help find breast cancer early. So tragically, that has caused, you know, people to say, well, it doesn't really help.
Right.
But
It's
to
something.
ignore it
That's right.
is
I think that
putting oneself in peril. So
Doctor, we have, before we move down another track here, we are also guilty of, well, you aside, of course, who knows what you're talking about, but we're all guilty of self-diagnosing or ignoring, right? There is a pattern here, almost indiscriminate of the clinician or even the wellness person we bring on. There's a maintenance portion that you owe yourself, right? You're not a physician, and you end up tossing off things, oh, I can deal with this, or a slow pain or a slight turn of events that you're no longer symmetrical. You're like, maybe it was always like that. So the key here, almost indiscriminate of what we're talking about, is check up regularly. Yeah. If someone was totally unfamiliar with this and on their own, right?
Yes.
We mentioned not having much of a family background. The process itself might be intimidating. You're going to be examined by someone who you've not met, enter a building that looks foreign to you. Where can you go? What is a good place to go online, or how can you start at ground zero to be checked out?
Well, at ground zero, you can see your primary care doctor and go in and just describe your concerns, and that person will either order some imaging or do an exam, and then from there, if the concerns reach a certain threshold, there would be a referral to a breast specialist, and I would be very happy to see that person. I joined Mercy Health, and I'm practicing in Perrysburg.
Okay.
And it is very nice
How
there.
fast can your husband get to Perrysburg? I'm just kidding.
Can you tell us a little bit about the writ large, what about Mercy Health's breast health, Mercy Health's breast health program?
Well, there are a number of screening locations where mammogram and ultrasound and other diagnostic images can be done. And then once the imaging is done, we review those results and examine the person in person, and then we go from there. And so taking care of the breasts is a part of overall health and wellness, and we do recommend, overall health.
Yes, ma'am.
Getting vigorous exercise and eating a whole food-based diet where there's avoidance of ultra-processed foods.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think that's some of the increase? I know.
Sure has to be.
Some of the increase of younger.
I think so.
Yeah.
But you never can tell because there's a lot of hormonally active substances in our environment in the United States. Cosmetics, lotions.
I'm hormonally active.
Yeah, that's a different. Mary, it's PBS. Yeah, there's an FCC regulation here. Yeah, it's not a dating program.
And there's never a time for women on the other end of the spectrum. There's never a time that women are out of the woods when it comes to breast cancer.
Right. Breast cancer risk increases as we get older. And it is rare among younger people, but it still does happen. But as a lady gets older, if she's in good health, then we recommend continuing mammograms. If her health is good enough and she would want to know if she has a cancer, and she could have a small operation to remove the cancer if it were found, then she should have a screening mammogram. 85 years old looks different on different people. Some people are, in a memory care facility, and that's one thing. Some people are out running marathons.
Yeah. Or presidents.
So it's,
Are there plans to open sort of a one-stop shop?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
On the St. Luke's campus area, a breast care and women's health center is being built.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we're very excited about it.
What is
So
that?
it'd be screening, it'd be seeing a doctor, it would be aftercare, surgical center
Yes.
too?
Well, I'm not 100% about where the operations will take place. Right now, I'm doing surgery.
We need the
at
layout of the
Perrysburg.
building, or we're going to have to ask you to leave.
I'm doing them at Perrysburg Hospital, and that has been wonderful.
bet.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's important.
That's amazing. It's so nice and convenient.
Right,
for women.
that's right. Because it's all uncomfortable.
Yes.
I'm asking that sincerely.
No,
as
it
somebody-
really is. And for somebody who has dense breast tissue, it's always a process.
Yes.
And then you have to go here and there, and
It's always nerve-wracking.
it is always.
It's a mental burden.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're going to find.
Right.
And so people do, tend to put it off. But
Yes.
whatever is going on, whether you put it off or not. It's better to find it early.
Right.
We're going to have an awkward transition into
Awkward
our
transition
quiz.
into
Dr. Mabry, so we're going to have to roll through this fairly quickly
Okay.
based on the fact I don't know how to run a show, so thank you for your patience. 4 rapid-fire questions. We've got your favorite thing about Toledo in one word.
One word.
Or describe Toledo in 9 of your favorite things, and Mary's going to help you through it.
Gotta write down the 9 things.
All right,
Oh, I
first
do?
question.
Yeah. Okay.
If you had to swap lives with someone for a week, who would it be, and why would it be me?
Swap lives?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
That's
Okay.
an answer.
Okay.
We'll
That's
take
an
it.
answer.
That's a good
Okay.
answer.
All right, good.
How self-absorbed. What do you do when you want to relax?
I go for a walk in the Metro Park.
Yeah.
Ding, ding,
I
ding,
love
Good job.
the trails of the Metro Parks.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you for coming on. Everyone didn't know that we were brother and sister. What is your favorite cake?
Carrot cake with
my
cream
girl.
cheese frosting.
Absolutely.
So good. No raisins
so
though.
Good.
Guys, we
I
don't have
do-
time for
Oh,
we don't
sorry.
have time for the cooking portion of the show.
sorry.
What hobby would you love to start?
Making
Carrot cake.
ribbon flowers. I'm going
Love
to
it.
be learning that next
Love it.
weekend.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay. What is the one word you would use to describe the city of Toledo or the region?
Home.
Okay,
Love
great.
it. You're good.
Okay,
All right.
so now we have, Mary's going to help you. She's a guest host, so she might not know how this works. But
Okay,
basically, you just run down a list of 9 things that you would consider to be your favorite things about the city of Toledo. It could be restaurants, places you like to go, anything like that.
So
Mention all the
number
metro parks.
1
Yep.
is driving on the trail and thinking about how the roads used to be.
Okay.
Okay.
How fun. Okay, that's the show.
Okay, I'll go now.
It was like
The museum.
Ribbon flowers and talking about former pavement.
The ride in history. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure your husband had tried to crash into something?
Toledo Sheriff's wife. Should I keep going, or are we gonna?
remember the potholes as well as I did.
That's right.
All right, second thing.
Okay, and then the interior of Sabira Restaurant.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that
Gorgeous.
beautiful?
Yeah.
It's beautiful,
Candles.
absolutely.
So cool.
Yes.
Could
Yeah.
use some ribbon
And they have
flowers.
the best duck fat.
Okay, guys, keep
all
going.
right.
Okay, Levis Commons shopping,
Love it.
Definitely.
walking around.
Yep.
A third of the way here.
Okay.
Keep going, plugging away.
My mom.
Yeah.
My mom is a person who knows how to see the good
We're-
in everything.
we're closing with that.
The-
we can use a little good.
I would say mom.
I'll take that for
Yeah,
sure.
yes.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Dr. Mary.
so much,
you.
Dr.
Thanks for
Mabry, being
classing
here.
up our show. Thanks for holding on.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at WitroAdvisors.com.
Destination Toledo. Whether you're a local or a visitor, Destination Toledo invites you to explore the region and be a tourist in Toledo. Find events, dining, and things to do at visittoledo.org.
Workspring. HR issues and employee well-being go hand in hand. Workspring supports employers through compliance, training, and wellness because healthy workplaces don't happen by accidents. Learn more at workspring.org.
Toledo Refining Company, a subsidiary of PDF Energy. Toledo Refining Company is a supplier of fuels that keep our region moving. Located in Oregon, Ohio, the refinery processes crude oil into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and other petroleum products.
And TARTA, celebrating its 55th year of connecting Northwest Ohioans to their community. More information at tarta.com.
Welcome back to the final segment of 419. Mary, at the risk of putting you on the spot, how's it going so far?
Well,
Yes, be honest.
it's hard to sort of jump into this fray, would you say?
Yes, it is hard to. Well, it's hard to wake up that early.
Yes.
Yeah.
A. B.
Yeah, it's noon, Mary.
No, I think you guys make this very easy.
Yeah, but it's you're sitting in a big chair.
A big boy chair.
Did you feel any pressure to take that seat?
Well-
That's where we put the talent.
Yeah, and I feel like I suit it well.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm not nearly as funny or as adorable, but I feel like I'm doing.
No,
the
guys, I sit there.
I know, I know. But I think you're rocking Kevin's seat better than he
Kevin
ever does.
not only sounds better, looks better, but is better. There is no
I'm
joke.
just doing the exact same thing I always do.
Which is
Bring the heat.
Bring the heat.
That's
you
weird.
are the balance.
Yeah, that's right.
The lovely
That's-
balance.
I will
right.
tell you,
Yeah.
and not to make you feel uncomfortable, Gretchen, and this is not any shot at Kevin, who does bind the show with a level of professionalism, but it is our best shows when Gretchen is engaged and when she feels comfortable.
Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
And when you come in sober. Anyway,
So, but it's happened once or twice.
Usually
Yeah.
she's face down
Yeah.
in all the Sesame Street plushies out there. But Mary, we've got you on not just as a fill-in guest, as Kevin is in vacation, and by vacation I mean an inpatient 30-day facility in Arizona. But you are...
He's resting.
That's right.
Yes.
He's getting it back together.
Yeah.
But you are in charge of an overwhelming amount, certainly this summer, but every summer, of activities. And by activities, I mean managing the moments that we all are
And all of our lives.
to
For the
carry
whole summer.
forward.
Yeah, that's not always easy.
We've got Watershed Weekend coming
Yes.
up. It is not a festival. It isn't a party. It is both of those things, but on a little bit deeper level. Not that those two things don't have an intrinsic value, because festivals and parties do,
Right.
And will always. But there's some meaning behind this and something to celebrate. Can you walk us through not just the activities and the 40 functions associated with it, but a little bit of the story behind it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've just entered into the watershed moment, but I've been invested in the waterfront and the river my whole life. You know, like that has always been a place that I feel was underutilized.
Sure.
It was where I got married. We got married at International
I
Park.
didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so my connection to the water.
Which time?
Only been married.
Oh, one time. Yeah,
Yes,
all right.
my next marriage will be in.
That's where we're building it.
Okay, yeah.
To house all the killer marriages. Yeah.
But no, the love for the waterfront has always been there. So, you know, as the Metro Parks talks about it, the connection I have felt during this whole process. So being a part of some of the activations is not just wonderful for the community, it's really personal to me. So I think it's, the next 4 days, 5 days that we're going to share is just literally the beginning of what people should mindfully understand what this represents.
The connectivity to me is the key thing. And the fact that the Metro Parks are just over 50% finished with this project, and the cultural, economic, just enjoyable impact it's already had on the community is definitely a reason to celebrate. So tonight there's a big donor thing, but then tomorrow night, Thursday night, is the party, the Art Loop with the Arts Commission. They're going to have they've moved their event. So many of our partner arts organizations in the community have moved their events or joined forces with the Metro Parks to participate in Watershed
I love the
Weekend.
idea, the comment, though, I put my Metro Parks hat down. A lot of this is just celebrating stuff that has already been happening already.
Yeah, but people don't know about it. It's amazing to me. I'm still having conversations today on what is the Riverwalk, what is the Watershed, and it is in our backyard.
That's right.
So I don't look at this weekend truly as, it is a celebration. It is this elevated experiences everywhere, but it should be really an education of what opportunities we have along our riverfront.
Mary, what makes for a good event?
Well, I like to elevate the five senses. Okay. So, when I put on an event,
Christian has 7. And two of them are
not. Sense.
Sixth sense.
And then my joke was better.
Yeah, it was. I know. Okay, but I'm still trying in this chair.
Yeah, sure.
But I think you have to hear it, feel it, see it, smell it. And there's another one there.
Sense it.
Touch it.
Yeah, let's get the doctor back. Doctor back.
And I think that if you can figure out a way to combine all of those elements, that is what truly elevates an event.
One thing I think is always interesting, and we've certainly been, all of us around this table, it's similar to like a marketing plan or other things. You have the plan at first, and then it changes almost immediately, usually for the better.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what I think makes for a good event or a good communications plan or good anything is one of the senses it is listening, right? You do
I disagree.
What did he say? Is he talking?
Yeah, boy, it's fun to have. It's like The View Part 2. And by 2, I mean -2. But that is important, right?
Oh my gosh.
There has to be a little bit of an ego down to facilitate. It's your job to keep things on the rails conceptually.
Right.
You do take in ideas, make people feel heard, and then execute.
And then still do what I want to do.
That's right. And talk to me about the art of that.
No, I think you're exactly right. We're creatives to begin with, so I think that we can come up with this big, beautiful plan. But until other people are involved and put their creative spin on it, it just stays in one space.
That's right.
So I feel like our gift is we have the idea, we want to elevate it, but you do need those other creatives to come in and start telling you how things can get better.
And it is truly a cultural thing at Metro Parks, the institution, in my experience, about hosting, about welcoming, right? Like, take it down to the trails at the park. It doesn't have to be a party. Those trails are ready for you to walk on every single day.
That's
There's
right.
someone there for safety. They're maintaining them. They're safe. They're beautiful. They're they're always available and in good shape. But that's hosting someone to come there and take a walk.
Right.
All the way up to all of the events that are going to be there this weekend. They're going to be safe. They're going to be fun. They're going to be the top notch.
Yeah.
All the people that are Metro Parks, and Matt does not tell me to say this, but all the people at the Metro Parks, the staff and the team and the volunteers and your team, they're going to be down there. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to know what it is they're talking about. They're going to be engaged with the residents of Toledo that come down there.
Right.
And that's part of the whole, I think, the maybe uncommunicated or untalked about part of the Metro Parks brand.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
Is hosting and being welcoming.
I'm grateful for that. Thank you, both of you. But I will tell you that, and I can speak on behalf of my colleagues, certainly, it is green space that does that. We have well manicured 13,000 acres. Don't get me wrong. We have great people, and to your point, every one of them cares about your experience in it. But green space, well-maintained green space or public space wants to be your host.
Right. Right.
It wants you to come open its doors and experience it in the way that you want, right? Not without causing reputable damage to it, right? But that's a different show. But the green space wants you to feel included. It, by definition, is for everyone. But Mary, I've got a question for you. You've done, take watershed aside, at the risk of putting you a little bit on the spot, you've done a million things in your career, right? At least that's what you tell us all the time. But there's theater, there's events. I think to some degree you are a bit of a corporate coach on an individual level. People seek you out for your thoughts because you are a salt of the earth person, but do give people advice on how to do things practically. You are a welcoming person, despite the fact that everyone is trying to stay gainfully employed. But is there a theatrical moment? Is there a professional moment? Is there something you built that you're particularly proud of that is your favorite? I know there's many, but if you had to put a stamp on one or put one in a shadow box for everyone to view as an embodiment of something you've done, what would it be?
You know, I think, well, first of all, my greatest accomplishments are my theater. You know, it's a small theater that
Mary's sons, we don't want you to think that you...
No, they're not my greatest accomplishment. We're still working on their accomplishment.
Right.
No,
they have work to do. Okay.
The theater is, you know, my lifeblood. But if I would say something that I was incredibly proud of professionally, it would have to be the Solheim Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think that
that's how we met.
Which is why that is, no, but that is, there's so many things that were involved in that. The first step was people in this community didn't think that we could do it, and they didn't think that if we thought big that we'd be able to pull it off. And I think that was this moment where then everybody, all sectors, private, public, personal sectors came together and made this incredible event happen.
And we planned you all planned it almost entirely on Zoom during a pandemic.
That's right. So there were all these factors that would say that it would fail. And I think that was one of the beautiful things, that every partner came together to make sure that our city shined and people were safe and happy, and to show that we could do those kind of large events here successfully. And that was kind of the launch of many wonderful things and incredible relationships.
So let's run down super quick. I just want to run down. I know we've talked about it to our audience before, but just highlights of sort of the events this weekend for Watershed Weekend. It's this coming weekend.
Yes.
Starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday down at the riverfront on the Glass City Riverwalk, presented by Metro Parks Toledo. Thursday night is the Art Loop with the Arts Commission.
It starts Thursday day.
Oh, Thursday day.
Yep,
okay.
We've got the Rise and Rally. Okay. So that's really the first invitation and the press conference to say, you know, come on down. Then Thursday night is the Art Loop, which is over at International Cove.
If you haven't been there, a recent art installation is absolutely will blow your mind.
It is like watching it from the other side too. Every angle is spectacular and emotional. Like it represents such amazing things in this community. And then Friday, we're partnering with Party in the Park, and we're going to have music all around. Saturday is the Metro Park signature event, where we're closing down the bridge. There's going to be tons of activities on both sides of the bank, and of course the connector on the bridge. And then Sunday we're going to sleep. No, we're going to walk the 5K around the bridge.
It's going to be very exciting. I hope people come out. It's really not going to be something to miss. And the weather this weekend, knocking on wood, is supposed to be great, nice and warm. And
going to be great.
Plenty of opportunities. Okay, Matt, I think it's time for
Mary's
Wacky Quiz.
Wacky Quiz.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mary, you've only got
I thought I'm a speaker, not a...
2 minutes.
Okay, here we go.
And 30 seconds. Let's all clear our voices right to the microphone like I did. I apologize to our listener. Mary, what gift would you most like to receive? And remember, we have FCC regulation.
I would like to receive my gosh, that's a hard one.
Okay, we can skip it?
Yeah.
$1 million,
$1 million. No, an island.
Okay, very good.
I like that.
Where do you go when you want to be alone, other than your island that you've just purchased?
Yes, I go to my garden.
Okay, I've seen it. That surprises me. What was the first phone you ever had? I love it.
The first what?
Phone. You remember a phone, a telephonic device?
I had a flip. I had a pager first, and then a flip phone.
In your home, in your bedroom. Did you have like one of those?
Piano.
A piano phone.
It was a piano phone.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. What song have you listened to the most in the last week?
Oh, Unstoppable.
By.
Who's singing? I'm unstoppable.
Well, now it's unidentifiable. Oh, good Lord.
What is the one word? What is the one word? I just wish you would stop it.
Yeah.
What's the one word you would use to describe the city of Toledo or the region?
Renaissance.
Okay. Perfect. Now, I'm going to ask you the 9 things, your 9 favorite things about the city of Toledo.
As I sing Unstoppable.
The whole time.
God, yeah, please do. Gosh, I would say, of course, the Metro Parks.
Got it.
The Art Museum. I love the theater in this area.
Absolutely.
is incredible.
Mary, what's the best place to see a theatrical performance in your opinion?
Gosh, I think I love the smaller theaters too around here, and I would feel remiss to. I mean, I'm from
Coward, we're closing out of this show.
I'm from Oregon, and I think the Oregon Community Theater puts on an incredible show.
Mary Brucker, thank you for filling in. We are going to end this segment before you start singing again. We'll be back to close out the show. Thanks for tuning in to 419.
You laughed with us. You learned with us.
Hi, neighbor.
We made sure your childhood was special. Memories that could only be provided by PBS. For generations, we've given you programs that made a difference. Programs that entertained, informed, and inspired. And today is no different. This is WGTE Public Media in Toledo. It's where you belong.
Welcome back to the closeout of the 419 Sans Kevin, but Pro Witro Wealth Management, and of course, powered by WGTE. Guys, we are closing out the show here. Pretty exciting guest.
Yes.
Poor Elissa has been back. Next time she gets her robe made of felt. Thank you for making those, Gretchen.
I'm making it.
Mary is on her way to getting her robe as well.
Yes. Mary, you have to have been on this show 5 times already.
Well,
feels like
2 at the beginning,
1, 2,
3. This is my 4th.
Yeah. 1 away.
But the first one technically doesn't count.
I think it does.
Okay.
It's like having Kevin here.
I got to work on a second robe. I was very pleased and excited to meet Dr. Helen Mabry from Mercy Health.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
She's a charmer. And I think that she just, her kindness just sort of exudes.
Yeah, again, physicians sometimes, even the best ones, are
surgeons especially
a little light on the charm.
Right.
It's certainly not the case there. Yeah, really charming.
And she's obviously a good driver.
Yeah, and of course, the 2 of you would think so. But I think that if you had to go in for something that was uncomfortable, or you had to make a connection with someone you trust annually, that individual certainly embodied that to me. And I thank you both for asking real questions, right? This show does tend or lean to things that are a little bit silly, although we talk about things in the Toledo are very prideful. That doctor is certainly one of the things we would add to our list.
Yeah, she was great.
Great lady.
We've got about a minute closing out here. We do not have Kevin for the entire week, but I do want to thank you again, Mary, for coming on, pinch hitting for us. And
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'll be great, as will the show. For those of you that have just tuned in for the very first time, I'm going to read Kevin's notes here. Matt, end your life. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was to yourself.
Yeah, that's right, and from Gretchen. Oh, everybody. You can find the show on WGTE's YouTube channel at 7 a.m., FM 91 at 3 p.m., WGTE Connects 30.4 at 6 p.m., and of course, the incredible WGTE app, which even I can use, so if I can do it, Lord knows you can do it. Well, thanks for tuning in. Please tune in to the rest of the week. We're going to have exciting new people filling the 3rd share, but they've had the gauntlet laid down by Mary. A lot of prideful things going on. Again, goes out the Old West End and all our first responders. Toledo, thank you for being you. We'll figure this out together. We'll see you next time.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.